It's about 15 minutes before 8 o'clock on this Wednesday morning. The COVID-19 pandemic is straining marriages. Local couples therapist, in fact, says that he has seen an increase in the number of people requesting a divorce. Dr. Rick Marks joins us now via Zoom. Dr. Marks, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Good morning to you.
Good morning, and it's my honor to be here for you.
So, Doc, what's the most common complaint that you are hearing from couples?
Well, the biggest complaint is we're around each other now, and we realize how many problems we have. There was many of us at the national level who are thinking that the stay-at-home process is going to take already stressed marriages, and either it's going to help them heal or it's going to snap them. Actually, we're seeing many more snap than they are actually healing, because usually you're away from each other 8 or 9 hours a day at work, but now you're around each other 24/7. It's taking the already existing stressors and it's kind of putting more stress on it. And so they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to talk to each other. They're defensive. And those are things that are kind of snapping the relationships where they realize we got to go get help.
So what advice do you have then for our viewers who yes, you're right, are now spending, more like 24 hours a day together nonstop and not really getting a break?
All right, so the first thing is our brain's tendency is to focus on the negative. I always say in the absence of information, the brains don't fill in information, but it'll do it in a negative way. And I always tell folks, if you have any love for each other, why don't you focus on the love that you do have and appreciate each other? Begin to think not just about the things you don't like, but think about the things that you do appreciate. I tell people in my work, share appreciations every day. You can always find something to appreciate about your partner if you're willing to think about it. So the first thing is just share appreciations. And then my second advice is I call them the 4 protectors. It's how I live my life. It's how I transform my life to be my wife would say, a now healthy, mature adult and husband. And those 4 protectors are no matter what I do, I want to make sure that I treat my wife or anyone actually with goodwill. I want to be respectful. I want to be caring, and I want to be humble. And if I treated you with goodwill, respect, humility, and empathy, then I knew I was treating you with goodwill and love, because love actually operates in all 4 of those words.
I think that that's such an important thing to remember, too, because I think there is a tendency, because we are all stressed. Kids are learning at home. Maybe people have lost their job and they're financially stressed. At the end of the day, it's kind of like glass half full, not necessarily empty. That said, though, we do have those moments where it's just, you just want to scream. What advice do you have so that you don't take that out, as an example, on someone in your family?
The first thing you've got to do is you got to learn to self-soothe. Whenever the brain is being flooded neurochemically because of fear or anger, so your heart rate starts to go up. You've got to self-soothe. And we tell people, take a deep breath. Just take a deep breath. If you have to take a time out for each other, take a time out. Minimum 20 minutes. Because when you're starting to get flooded with adrenaline, it takes about 15 minutes for the adrenaline to leave. So just go get away. Go do something neutral. Don't ruminate. And then if you have good communication skills, use them. One of the things that we do in our world is most people realize don't have really good, healthy communication skills that protect the relationship. And one of the things that we do in our work is we actually teach people the skills to handle conflict, so that we call it us, so that us survives.
How are you able to communicate now, with couples considering social distancing effectively?
Just like this, as a matter of fact, I take highly distressed marriages and many that are already in divorce court, and I get them out of divorce court in 3 days. I do these intensives. And some people have been wanting intensives from around the country online. I'll be doing one this weekend with a couple. And so this whole platform of Zoom, FaceTime has increased work. I just had 4 phone calls yesterday, more marriages kind of collapsing. Plus, we can still see people. We're considered an essential service. And those that want to come to the office, we got our office set up for spacing. And so some have come in and some have decided, hey, let's just meet this format.
So that is so encouraging to Dr. Rick Marks, because I know that we spoke yesterday specifically about an increase in abuse also within the home. And I think that the important message that I want to end on here is that you can always find help. And you always need to reach out and make sure you communicate and get that help. And Dr. Rick Marks joining us here this morning via Zoom, a local family and couples therapist who offers his sessions. It's called Relate Well. If you Google, you can find it that way. Dr. Marks, thanks for joining us this morning. Do appreciate it.
Thank you very much.